Hello people of YouTube and welcome back. Long time no speak, hey? So yeah, it's been a while since I've done YouTube. So I've kind of taken a bit of a step back. I just didn't really have time to do it. Like life things got in the way, I guess. I kind of miss doing videos and just talking about shit. And I've done pickups and stuff like that, but I just don't feel like talking about games at the moment. I don't know why. I've like not like I've got out of gaming or anything like that, but I just don't play as much. So I've not got that enthusiasm for gaming like I do with music at the moment. So I've kind of like got into music again. Not like that I've not been out of it, but like yeah, I'm kind of like just constantly looking through my backlogs of music and everything like that. And I thought I'd talk about a few albums. So I thought I'd talk about a few vinyls. I might do like a CD episode. I might talk about some CDs as well in the future. I probably also might do this in a year's time. I think I did some vinyl pickups like earlier on in the year. In fact, I think it was last year, and we've not done any more. However, it's because of a pickup that I just did, which is going to be the last one of these 5 records, that's kind of got me into wanting to talk about this on YouTube, because why not? You know, that's what YouTube is. I'm not a gaming channel. There's no like retro in the game or retro game or whatever in my channel name. It is literally just, I'm a rollerblading channel. If you came across me, that's what you probably think I am. So it doesn't really matter. Like I just make videos. It's all about having a bit of fun, talking about what you like. And I know there's going to be about 2 people watching this. So hello Marcus. Who's the other one? Who likes music? Put your name down below. But yeah, I actually made another video like 2 months ago, when I was talking about like my arcade collection of PS4 games. So I did a fighter one and I did a shmup one, and I need to edit that one. Because I want to put videos in. I always like putting videos on there on stuff, because it's how I would like to watch the videos. It's like, it's good to hear about people's thoughts, but it's also like good to see what they're actually talking about and see if they actually make any kind of sense, which most of the time I don't. So anyway, got a bit of the old black heart on the go. They need to make cans more like YouTube friendly, where you can actually see what you're drinking. But anyway, yeah, I'm not turning into an alcoholic, although it's been close. But anyway, we're talking about some records now. So I thought I would start this off by having it video game related. And I say that in the loosest possible terms, because the lead singer of this band wasn't in any video game that I know of. At least maybe she was, I don't know. But she was in a film about video games. Do you know what it is? It is Riyo Kylie. So that's what's playing in the background. I don't know how much you can actually hear of this. This is a tester video to see how well this works. So yeah, like I said, I know there's only going to be a few people watching, but I don't care. I've actually made a video talking about this record before, and that never made it to YouTube. And I talked about a few records, because music is probably like one of my first love. No, it's not. Gaming was, and then music was. But music is something that was a long staple in my life. Hence why I got all this fucking shit behind me. I have started buying records again, but like most of this has been bought like 20 years ago or something. Between 10 and 20 years ago. This was probably bought about 8 years ago. However, the band themselves have been going like 20 years plus. This album is made in 2002. So that's 20 years ago. So happy birthday, Riyo Kylie and the Execution About All Things. Now, this is their 3rd studio album. However, I've not really listened to the first album too much, which I think was self-titled. I knew these from the first album that I knew of, which was Takeoffs and Landings, which is a fantastic album. And yeah, I've kind of missed talking about why there is a video game link in in this. Yeah, this I'm out of practice of YouTube, and not that that makes any difference because I would ramble anyway. So yeah, Riyo Kylie, or Jenny Lewis, as the lead singer is called, from this album. That's not like the thing. It does look like a name. I always thought that it was just the name of the singer, but it's not. Jenny Lewis is, and the guy, I can't remember what his name is, because obviously girls are always getting more famous because of equality and stuff. Yeah, she was in a film called The Wizard, and if anyone knows what The Wizard is, it's basically the Nintendo World Championship. So everyone's showing off like their World Championships Switch games that they're getting. I'm showing Riyo Kylie, which was like the advert for that, basically. Yeah, she was the girl that was running around with, I forgot what his name is, the lad, and she was like the secondary character, and I don't think she entered the competition, but yeah, it was just a big Nintendo advert for like the World Championships, wasn't it? And yeah, I didn't know this until not even that long ago, probably about when I bought this record, that she was that girl that was in The Wizard. Who fucking knew? But anyway, yeah, cool little tidbit. So what is this music about? Well, like I say, if you can hear in the background, it's an indie record. So if you watched my pickups last time, you probably wouldn't expect me to listen to stuff like this. I'm literally a lover of music. I'm genre boundless. As long as it's good. I'm sorry, just look at my dog there. She's just fallen asleep with a ball in her mouth. Yeah, I'm music blind, as in like, I would be, if I like something, I will go all out and absolutely fucking fawn over it until whenever. And yeah, this is a great indie folk country album. It's probably the best way to say it. I wouldn't say, if you was into country, you wouldn't really be like, oh yeah, Riyo Kylie. However, it's just like tinges of country that's in there. More folk and very indie. Old school indie. Like I say, this is 20 years old, this record. Lots of like spoken lyrics in this with crescendos of like just a pure emotion. Yeah, like this is a great album. It's sort of like very like sounds upbeat most of the times until you actually listen to the lyrics, and there's quite a lot of songbook lyrics, a lot of like sort of like learning about shit. And yeah, I've loved this band for so long. I've seen them twice. I saw them in Manchester and I saw them in Leeds way long time ago. I think Bright Eyes played with them both times, and then in Manchester it was Modest Mouse. Like, what a lineup. You won't get a lineup like that nowadays. And it was like 10 quid a ticket or something. Yeah, for Modest Mouse, Bright Eyes, and Riyo Kylie. What an absolute fucking pleasure of a night that was. Yeah, like I say, that's like a festival lineup nowadays sort of thing. But yeah, I profess. Yeah, so I've had this record 8 years and it's not come out of the cellophane. I probably will do eventually, but I kind of like, yeah, I was buying records to play them, but like certain special ones. Like this one's a really special record in my heart. And yeah, gonna probably play some out now until I go into the next vinyl to talk about. To see what you think. What do you think? Have you heard of these? What do you think?
Sometimes in the morning I am petrified and can't move, awake but cannot open my eyes, and the weight is crushing down on my lungs. I know I can't breathe and hope someone will save me this time. And your mother's still calling you insane, and I swear, and it's different this time. And you tell her to give in,
so I hope you enjoyed that. So we're now on to the second album, and yeah, we're going to totally change it up a little bit. So quick sip of that, and yeah, so we're 10 years in the future, and like we have opened this one, so this one's open. So we have now got Tempest. Actually, don't know what the album. Everyone's Down. Everybody's Down is the name of this record. I hate it when there's no actual name on these, and then it's just like a sticker on the cellophane to actually tell you what it is. So yeah, not sure if anyone's heard of Tempest, but this album is an absolute fucking sensation. Honestly, again, when I heard this, it just like took me aback. I don't really know how I first heard of her. I think it was something on YouTube or something like that, where she did an appearance, and yeah, I was kind of like mesmerized by her. She is, God, how do you explain Tempest? She's an English poet, probably first and foremost. Her stuff is more about lyrics and like expression than it is over the music. However, like I would say she's probably another good way is like to understand the music is probably she's a female version of Frank Skinner from the Streets. However, just less dancey and less beat orientated, although there is a few tracks on here that could sound very streetsy, very single orientated, but this is something that you have to listen to like start to finish. And I always find albums, for me, I'm not a fan of like singles. Singles are great, but they're like almost throwaway. To be a good artist, you have to make an album, and that is what Tempest does. I've got the old hiccups. Only one way to solve that, isn't there? So yeah, Tempest is very hip-hoppy, very poetry. There is stuff that is like fully with beats and like is what's considered a song as such. However, yeah, it is. There is tracks that is literally just talking with just a bit of maybe like a drone track in the background. Whereas like, yeah, I mean, she's got that hip hop talk voice, if you know what I mean. With most of the stuff, but there is like just full on just poetry tracks with this album. Her other stuff, her other albums are more like poetry than this. This is probably what I've heard, at least anyway, more so an album that you could listen to and groove to, if that makes sense. But yeah, how this is an album that you have to listen to from start to finish. You can maybe afterwards listen to certain of your favorite tracks, but it's all about like a couple that get together from the time that they went out for the first time and they met each other, and how they went on for like dates, all the shit in between that happens. And it's not just like normal like everyday stuff. There's like a lot of like illegal subjects, let's say, that are involved with this, and yeah, there's a lot of like similarities that I felt with this album, and I think that's kind of like what kind of really got me gripped into it. Like I knew the world, I knew the feelings that came with it all and stuff like that, and yeah, absolutely fantastic album. And I love like the music that is in between it all, and what I mean by like about the lyricist side of it. So this is just a black vinyl, there's nothing special to see here, but this is the lyrics that are on the album, and it's double-sided. This is how, like, you don't see many albums that are so heavily dense with lyrics. Like, this isn't something that you're going to know every word to. You're not going to sing along to this album. You're going to listen to it and it's going to captivate you. And like, yeah, just, this is like, if you've got like an hour-long journey in a car, or 40 minutes or however long it is, put this on, just chill out, just listen to it, just take note of everything, and just enjoy it. Like, I will listen to this every so often, and it's like I still like find new things about the album, like what the lyrics are saying, what they're meaning, what's happened in the story and stuff like that. It's almost like a visual book, a musical visual. It's like a musical book that is just like, yeah, just fantastic. There isn't many like albums that are like this, and if there are, please tell me. If you know of this fantastic artist, please let me know, because like honestly it's just fucking brilliant. But yeah, I'm gonna put a few tracks on now, something on for you to listen to, and hopefully it might interest you, because I'm doing all this to hopefully get people into stuff I'm into, which is a lot of really random shit. So enjoy.
Who's bad? To the kiddie in a jacko hat, to the kiddie in a Rooney shirt, dragging back the curtains in the room in her daddy's flat. A young girl heard the truth in an alley cat howling on the roof next door. Imagine that all your idols were just like you. Nothing's beyond you. Do what you want to do if you feel that it wants you to. Look, true never meant nothing more than it means right now, when everything's fake. But you and your deepest reaches, keeping secrets, know what it takes to make a meaning mean something. I'm moving through a space that some can't see. I know this space exists, so do you if your heart beats in the oldest groove. Life is huge, but we have shrunk it, we've made it small. We used to walk tall, but who cares, right? We're having a ball. Yeah. Them things you don't show, I can see. Them things you don't say, you speak to me. Them things you hide ain't hiding. No firm ground, but we ain't sliding. Them things don't haunt you, let them be. That thing you weep for, leave it. All life is forward, you will see. It needs you to lead it. Go ahead, keep it in till it rivers you. Move fast, don't stop, you got things to do. Tell yourself, ask them, man, it isn't you. Nod your head and believe that until it's true. You can tell it not to show its face when you are trying to hold your space. But it's in you, deep in your sinews, and it comes out on the coldest days. See the kid with the memory he can't shake. See the man with the lover on his mind. See the lady with the guilt and the heartache. See the woman trying to battle with time. See the man with the blood on his hands. See the girl with her hands on the hips. Everybody say nothing, stay bland. If you don't show it, then it don't exist. Them things you don't show, I can see. Them things you don't say, speak to me. Them things you hide ain't hiding. No firm ground, but we ain't sliding. Them things will haunt you, let them be. That thing you weep for, leave it. All life is forward, you will see. It's yours when you're ready to receive it.
Hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, for someone I've not seen, because I like, one of my favorite things back in the day was going to see gigs, and yeah, when probably the last 10 years or so, I was going to more dance gigs, so I'm not been to many band gigs in the last 10 years or so. They seem to be very expensive, and they don't have that same intimacy that you used to have like 20 years ago. You just don't have that anymore. So yeah, so this next one I've only seen them once. However, it fucking blew me away. It was like the one band that like actually made me leave with like almost tinnitus. Like I think I've got tinnitus as it is. Well, I definitely do. But I was just like fucking mind melted when I saw this band. Anyway, it is The Faint. So I've got them on in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. So how did I find out about this album? And this is quite shocking actually. I completely forgot. So Riyo Kylie, these two albums are on the same label. These are on Saddle Creek, which was a way that I used to find about bands back in the day. Like, used to be, even though you had the internet, nothing was like linked as it is now, and it was all about self-discovery. And I used to just sit on the internet for hours and hours looking for bands, and yeah, I got this this album, and it was the song Call that was named Blank Wave Arcade, and the fact that it had arcade in the actual title made me like, oh, what's that? Put it on, fucking blown away, absolutely. And then for years I thought that song was called Blank Wave Arcade. It's not. It's the album is called Blank Wave Arcade. There's no song called Blank Wave. In fact, this is the song that's coming on now. this is the song that fucking blew me away. And it was like, how old is this album? Does it say a year on it? I don't think it does. Does it say it in the record? Yeah, I'm not very good at this, so I should probably put more attention to detail. But yeah, this early 2000s, 2001 maybe, I would say. When I found out about this, it blew me away. And I had a bit of a short-term like love-hate relationship with this band because this I can't remember if it was this song or a song off this album was used on a rollerblading video, and it was like, oh wow, the faints on a rollerblading video, how cool. And then I think they were like the first band to have sued like people for using their tracks on like rollerblading videos. And it's like, to me that is crazy, because that is like the best promotion a band could do back then, was to be featured on something. And like, these are not like big bands or anything like that, they're like, they would have built up a fan base from like doing that. And it's like, from these tracks getting used on stuff, like a lot of my loves for music stems from rollerblading videos, do you know what I mean? So for that to have happened, it was a bit of a shocker. However, the music speaks for itself, and when they was touring the UK, I was like, need to go to it. So I saw these at the Cockpit in Sheffield in Leeds, sorry, not Sheffield, and fucking fantastic, absolutely fantastic. This is like one of my early vinyls as well. Like I can't remember if I got it from the tour or if I got it from somewhere else, but yeah, this is a nice and pretty white vinyl. One of my first coloured vinyls that I ever had as well, like, because you didn't really get like how it is today, where everything is pretty much press coloured and is an experience. These were just sold because people wanted physical media, like proper physical media, and to have a nice coloured vinyl, that's just a bonus. But like now, it's a different thing. This probably cost me like a tenner as well. And I'm not even like exaggerating, which like now like records are like 20-30 quid. It's fucking scandalous. However, and that's probably why I don't collect them as much anymore. However, what is this band? So yeah, this was in an era I was into more hardcore and stuff like that, like more like shouty, screamy music, and I heard this, and yeah, it was electronic, it was grimy, and like very sexually charged. Like every lyric is like about some sexual activity, prostitution, so like everything. It's such a dirty track, dirty album. And like, again, back in my younger former self, that was a highly sought after activity, let's say. And yeah, it spoke to me. Now I'm just a nice innocent boy. I've gone back in time, backwards. But yeah, like the lyrics on this just are like, to me, just fantastic. But the beats, probably one of the reasons why I got into like digital music, like dance music and stuff like that. It was an eye-opener, because it was very bandy, very it was something that you could sing along to and stuff like that. But like the music was like nothing that I've really heard before. I mean, obviously there was stuff like Tempest and stuff like that, which I enjoyed and ultimately got into really because of bands like this. Like, instead of just being a casual listener to someone that like takes note and properly listens to the album, even though this is completely different, it still like was an avenue into that sort of like different style of music for me at the time. Like I say, this was 20 years ago when I was into this. And yeah, like when you're in your early 20s, like you like things hit differently, and like you just like, well, for me at least, I was so into this, so into that. It was like elitism at the finest. I couldn't be into everything at once because I felt like I was not being genuine. Whereas like, that's what I like about like my older life. Like I've got no one to impress other than myself, and I enjoy so many different musical styles like this. And yeah, it's crazy like how every year just felt so long back then and was filled up with such different types of music. Yeah, cool, fantastic track off this album. Worked Up So Sexual and Casual Sex. Some of the, I don't know, it's hard to point out a track over the others. I could listen to each and every one of these tracks singular and fucking love it. However, again, it's an album. It's an album to listen to, enjoy, and just fucking put it on. Enjoy yourself. Now to think of what track to put on, this one's pretty good. Especially the end of it where it's like a full-on crescendo of just noise, pure noise, and then it just goes into the next track and it's like, what just happened there? Like fantastic, just randomness. I just like that, like just experimentalness of bands that you just don't get anymore. Anyway, next track.
Time for that.
So we're on the second go of this. I just opened my last beer, the fourth beer of the night. But yeah, we're on the fourth beer, fourth album, why not? And we're on to a bit of a challenging listen, I would say. The rest of the albums that I've just shown before are all accessible to people that are not like into just like random music. They're like, I think you could listen to the last three albums if not like your normal whatever, but like that you're into just music, just normal chart music or something. I don't know. There is something that to pick up from that and enjoy if you like chart music and stuff like that. However, we're now on to proper experimental shit that I fucking love. This is a noise rock album. It's Lightning Bolt. What's it called? Wonderful Rainbow. Yeah, it's not an easy listen at all. However, it's a fun and exhilarating one, I've got to say. Like, yeah, you're not going to put this album on every day. If you put this on and turn it up, you'll probably get a headache at the end of it. But you will have a headache that you will remember. And yeah, this album cover really just shows off what's happening here. It's just chaos, and then just a bit of brightness in between it all. Fantastic. So how I got this record, I'm gonna lament. No, I don't. I'm just saying random words now. We're on the 4th beer, remember? But yeah, I got this from seeing a band called Rapider Than Horsepower. They used to have like a sister band that was like a few of the members. I think it was called Repsilky or something. Should have actually looked, because I actually said this last time without the music in the background. Yeah, they had a band that was very much like this, like a noise rock album. Rapider Than Horsepower is like more, not typical band, but like one with like the traditional vocals and stuff like that. This has vocals, but you're not gonna. It's all to go with the music and stuff. I don't know what one of the words say in this. Probably maybe a couple. But it's all about randomness. It's all about fucking being different and just enjoying yourself. Like, I would love to have seen these. I've never seen this band before. And it's a great shame because they have played, I say recently, I think 10 years ago or something. And I never got to see them. I was too much in the dance floor doing this, and instead of seeing fucking fantastic bands like this, yeah, how noise rock, Sunno, is it Sunno? Maybe you could probably draw a likeness to. There's a band from Leeds, I forgot what they're called. Their album was called like Tankology. I've got the album up there. I Am Tank, This Is a Tank, This Is That Fucking Tank. That's what they're called. Actually, That Fucking Tank. That's it. Very similar kind of sound. I've seen That Fucking Tank so many times. It's unreal. Because they were a local British band. These are American. Like I say, back in the day, you'd see bands. Where I saw Rapider Than Horsepower, where I got this album from, they were from America. And I think I paid like £6 to see the show. And a local pub in Leeds called the Fenton. I think it was a Fenton. I was getting mixed up between the Fenton and there was one that was across the road. But it was basically just a pub. Everyone played on the floor. You can't get any more intimate. And like for music like this, where it is all about fucking being in your face, how can you have an in your face kind of sound like this and be on a massive stage? It just doesn't work. Like, and this is what I fucking hate about modern music, is like you don't have that intimacy anymore. And yeah, like this might not be the most sing-along record. The sounds stick in your head. Like I played this recently. If you follow me on Instagram, I will play records randomly. I always listen to a few albums every week and stuff, and this is one that I've listened to recently and put on Instagram. So yeah, people you might have heard this a bit more, but yeah, I had to talk about it just because it is so fucking fantastic. Yeah, such a nice bassy guitar sound, because they're just a duo. I can't remember what I said from this time and last time, but yeah, these are just a duo that make a wall of noise. It's crazy, like fantastic. And it's like a mixture of bass, random drum sounds, and like screeching guitars, and then just random vocals, just in a mix of just like craziness. Fantastic. Like, it's not something that you would listen to every day. You can't listen to this every day. You can, but you'll probably end up about as insane as I am, and that's probably not a good thing. But it's probably worth trying every so often because, yeah, it's good fun. Definitely a highly recommended album for me. There is a few bands like this, but I think these are the ones that like are the most famous for being who they are. May be wrong. That proves me wrong. With these also had a secondary band called USA Is a Monster, or they a different band completely, but very similar anyway. I'm gonna play some random shit for you now, for all two of you. So yeah, I don't know what track I just played then, but fucking that was intense. And talking about intense, we're going on to the final record right now. And this is the reason why I actually kind of did this sort of like video, kind of what made me really want to talk about stuff again. And I probably won't do it justice because I can't really talk about shit, and that's why I want to talk about stuff. I just don't want to forget about stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I miss, like, back in the day, you used to be out all the time. You'd be talking about what stuff that you listened to just recently, and you'd have like an audience of other people that would like that kind of the same stuff because you said whatever. And you don't have that. Well, I don't have that anymore. Like, and I sit at home, listen to this stuff, just fucking being like, fucking hating myself or whatever. And yeah, I thought, do you know what? I need to talk about this. So this is my latest pickup, and it's an album I only heard of like 2 weeks ago or something, whenever it was, and it just blew my fucking mind. And I went on the internet and just bought it straight there and then. So this is a 2016, I think, 2018. Sorry, 6 years old. That was it. 2018 record from a band I listened to and saw like 20 years ago. So I was having a bit of a journey. I had a bit of time in the car. It was like 11 o'clock at night. It was really late. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to go listen to the band Daughters. So this is the album. So I'm going to see Daughters. It's like, this was like a band that I listened to years ago. Like the album that I was referring to was Canada Songs. And the album's like 11 minutes long. The whole album is like 11 minutes long. The CD, if I remember correctly, was like a full-size CD. However, it was only the inside that actually had like the silverness. The rest was just plastic. Yeah, crazy like how short that was. And I actually went to see them back in them days in Leeds as well, like in a little random club. 11-minute like imagine coming over from America to play your 11-minute track album, because I don't think they had any other album back then. But fucking fantastic, great times, like. And back then they was just like, their tracks are like 1 minute long or something, but fucking memorable 1 minute long tracks, like just intense fucking guitars, screaming, like, because I used to like a lot of scream. It's easy to say metal. I think they called it like mathcore back then. So I listened to that album and I thought, what else have they done? Because I've not actually listened to much of their stuff in recent times. And I thought, let's go play the latest stuff. And every time I listen to bands that I used to like back in the day and I listen to their new stuff, I usually hate it. It's usually so different. It's too far from what their original content was, and but at the same too similar, if that makes sense. This was like a 50-minute long album or whatever it is, and it was totally different. Like you would not listen to these two albums side by side and think they are the same band, because they're not. Yeah, the first track when I put it on, it was just like sort of like Nine Inch Nails, not Nine Inch Nails, like, I don't know, what's Alec Empire maybe, just like really lethargic drums. It was just like a noise, like a drone, and then like just like no effort put into like hitting the drums. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This is intense. And then the lyrics started and it was like, it's not singing, it was just someone talking, like no sort of emotions, and it fucking instantly hooked me. I was like, what is going on? And then like it kind of like crescendoed off, and I was like, what's the next track? What is the next track? And the next track just hooks me equally as the amount. Same. This album is so dark, so twisted. I mean, look, I mean, it is. There's not much going on, but like, it really is. It's this guy is just having a fucking breakdown, and it's so emotional and like so fantastic. I needed to hear more. And like I say, I was going somewhere. I had like a 40-minute journey. I took 10 minutes already to listen to the first album, so I had 30 minutes left of this 50-minute album. And as I got to where I was going, I was like ready to do another lap. I was ready to do another lap so I could listen to it again in a dark car, just driving down the M6, enjoying this fucking breakdown of someone. And yeah, so I got the vinyl, and it's not white, it's sort of like, I think they call it London fog. It's like sort of like grey and white marbles. You can make it looks like a moon or something like that. And that is just kind of describes the album. It's just this dirty sort of like intenseness to it. And fucking hell, man. Like the under the album, and spoilers here. So it just he starts talking, does what he's talking about, and it's just like he just starts repeating, "Let me in, let me in, let me in." You just want to let him in, and it's like, but then at the same time you just think, if you let him in, is he getting into you? What is he getting into? Like, yeah. So I started reading about stuff. I think the guy from Daughters has done some shit stuff in his time. I think this is like sort of just that insanity of him, just the fucking shit, just sort of like coming out of him, and it's fucking amazing. It's so intense and raw, and like I think I said, like, again, I played this on my Instagram stories, and it was like the first time I played a track more than once through an album, just because I didn't know what to play, because it's just, even though it's like raw, distressing tracks, like there's something intriguing about it, and I just couldn't decipher what to play. Like, it's a spooky fucking album. It's fucking, there is a bit where you could probably get quite scared to listen to it, just thinking like, is this guy coming for me or something? Like, what is going on? It's just fucking fantastic. And it's like I say, this is like a band I used to love back in the day for totally different reasons. Like, there was like a math core, math rock, math metal, whatever, yeah, artist, to this slow plodding demise of an album where it just like fucking intense. It's almost sort of like a movie score is probably what it is, and that's probably why it's got that sort of like horror-esque vibe to it. Absolutely fantastic. If you can't open yourself up to music, you will not enjoy this. You need to let yourself go, and you need to play the whole album. One track is not going to be enough. Again, this is a whole album. Listen, to enjoy, like, I don't know what it is, but like, fucking put it on. Anyway, listen to it a little bit.
I let it into my head, let a long way down, let a long way down. I let it into my heart, I let it into my heart, let a long way down, let a long way down. I let it into my bed, I let it into my bed, let a long way down, let a long way down. I gave it complete control, I gave it complete control, let a long way down, let a long way down.
So, shaky cam, let's stop that. So that's the random shit I've been listening to recently and for a long time as well. Should I do this again? Are you sickened by what I played, or do you want to hear more? Like, there will be some random stuff, enjoyable stuff for whatever reasons, but yeah, I'm loving music at the moment. That being said, I will be editing a video that's got video games on it. Yeah, I've been thinking about this just like while I've been away for the whole second. There's a lot of these have got like a lot of spoken word on, like where it's not like really singing. Yeah, I'm not like a big like America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, or whatever they're called. They're not that kind of stuff's not for me. I want to hear emotions, and you don't get emotions from just singing. Like, just singing is just one emotion. I want to hear all of the emotions, and like, that's what music is to me, and that's why I like such dark stuff. I've got a lot of darkness in me. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.